promote this stuff, and you want to get pissed when they rip it up?
Exactly, thank you. Thank you.
You want to sit here and promote this?
Just promote violence against transgender people, like myself. Do you know how many fucking times a day
I don't know what it says, but I'm just saying you're...
Yeah, I don't even know what it said, but that's not your property, though.
Well, technically, they put it out here to see it. I already did it. What do you want to do?
Okay.
So do you have the right to destroy someone else's property?
Yeah, so I would say is that you should come to the, we have an event on Wednesday, Rasher Christie. So we're doing Is Abortion and Justice? Oh, we're just one organization. Yeah.
It's a giant free speech event.
Okay, so these are organizations which promote free speech. So my organization, so we're having a discussion on Wednesday. We have flyers over there. 7:30.
I'm tired of those ones down. It's not litter, guys. Yeah, you're right.
Do you have the right to destroy someone else's property, though?
Is it your property?
Yes.
Does it have your name on it?
So? My shirt doesn't have my name on it.
That's unfortunate. It's on your body. I'm not going to stick it there. I don't want to see it.
I think there'd be a difference if it actually posed a question, but it kind of...
I don't even know what it said.
It said, like, abortion is murder, gender pay gap is real, Harry Potter and hate speech on campus.
I didn't know what it said, but I just think people start destroying property.
So they just destroyed all this.
Yeah.
Can you come here a second?
Is there a reason?
Wait, what?
Do you have your ID on?
Wait.
No, I do not.
You don't have your ID on?
I don't.
Yes.
Did you tell her to stand up for what?
She's fine. Just relax.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
What's your name?
Can I know why I'm getting in trouble?
You helped tear up a sign,
Okay.
which is a crime
How?
because of someone else's property.
Is it? Whose was
Yeah.
it? Whose was it?
It belongs to him.
May I see the receipt for it?
Oh my God! You want to do this way? I can take you to jail if you don't identify yourself. That's how this works.
My name is
How is it a
Tor.
crime that they were publicly displaying
Thank
hate speech?
I'll tell you what.
How is that a crime?
You and you walk over to my car, and we're going to talk away from all these other people so that we can have a conversation without anybody else interrupting in our private business. So let's walk over to my car. You're either going to walk to my car.
They're having a public
Let's walk to my car.
make it private. Pull them up and put it back in the neighborhood.
Thank you.
You know, like it would be really easy and in their capacity to be able to sign contracts in which they see the contracts of other women that are playing alongside them and make sure they're being paid the same.
You don't see any signs of attitudes changing. Is it a generational thing to any degree at all?
I think it's far too simplistic. I think my daily experience as a big fat queer femme of like existing in this world is one of violence, of people taking photographs of me in public space, of trucks veering onto the road so people can shout out expletives at me, of having like every day having a series of being ridiculed. In fact, actually, I was on the phone to the non-emergency police line reporting a homophobic hate crime whilst another was taking place to me. That is how much I and other people like me have to deal with. So if we ask if this is generational, no, this is happening. This is actually happening. And what I want us to do is get beyond just saying that, oh, maybe it's just banter, or maybe this is just like what masculinity is about. We've got to start really critiquing this and start looking at it. And I guess that's what I'm trying to do with my artworks around the country, is have conversations that go beyond the echo chamber.
You do what you do with your arts. Have you got anything else by way of a solution or the beginnings of an answer to how to make things better from your point of view?
Well, that's a difficult question because, you know, like, how is me, who is, you know, to some extent, like, I am a victim of masculinity in a way because of the aggressions that I put up with on a day-to-day basis. Why is it that, like, us, why is it like queer, trans, non-binary people, why is it us who's got to come up with the theories to be eloquent enough to be able to say, this is how we disable toxic masculinity? Actually, this has got to come from within. Men have got to acknowledge their privilege, and I want them to hand over power, and also I want them to hand over some platform. I'm really up for like trying a matriarchy. We've done patriarchy for a long time, hasn't really worked.
Okay, Michael, what do you think? Because obviously I'm completely enlightened. I don't need to be told about this.
I think I've heard a great deal of rubbish in the last few moments. I mean, men are not trained to be dominant and violent. I was trained to obey a woman who was my leader, who was Margaret Thatcher. And in the present world, we have a female.
Tories love to do that.
We have
don't
a
they?
female queen. We have a female prime minister.
A female queen, a woman who was unelected.
We have a female first minister of Scotland. We have a female leader of the Conservative Party in Scotland. We have a female
21%.
leader of the Labour Party in Scotland. I just don't recognise the picture you're painting at all.
You don't recognise the misogynies that we're currently experiencing in the world. I can tell you.
And what is more, if there's one thing that has been remarkable about the last 20 years, it has been the emancipation of gay people. We now have gay marriage. We've had... What? We don't have gay marriage?
No, we do have
what
gay marriage.
What do you say? You're not saying there's been a transformation?
Yeah.
Conduct yourself. That's what I tell them. I just don't just throw out that statement. It's a reason why I tell them that. I tell them keep your hands on the steering wheel. I tell them don't say much to them other than what you have to. I try to tell. I want them to stay alive at the end of the day, right? Because it's not going to look good for them. And then you're going to have, is the way the system's set up. They're going to side with him.
Well, then why aren't their parents telling them? Because I was talking about that. My parents taught me hands right on the top of the steering wheel. Yes, sir. No, sir. Shut off the car. Pull over. Do not reach for anything until he asks you to give him his license. Why is it, listen, we can both, you feel the need to say that because young black people aren't doing it. Why aren't their parents teaching them? Why is it only in the black community that they're not complying?
We have a different, unfortunately, it's sad that you got to teach people how to deal with police. But like I was raised that way, son. You pull over by them police.
Me too.
Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Don't give them much information. If they ask for you to get your license, tell them where it's at. And then get permission from them to get it.
Right.
And put your hand right back on the steering wheel. If for some reason they want to arrest you, don't fight with them. Go ahead with them. We will get a lawyer. We'll get you out. This is what I was told, and that's the way I conduct myself on police stops. Right. I don't tell people in my videos, yeah, you fight with them police.
No, I know you don't. But no, I didn't say. I said the opposite. I said you're saying this.
See that?
I'm giving you credit. I'm giving you credit. I said you teach this. Right. I've seen you do this. The conversation, by the way, you just said that you had with your parent is exactly what I had with my dad. Okay. White person, black person, the exact same thing. We should handle arrests the exact same way. There's a right way and then there's a wrong way. And I'm saying, giving you credit, you are teaching that on your channel because you recognize there is a serious problem in the black community with young black people, particularly people below your generation and my generation, not doing those things. Why do you have to teach them? Why aren't their parents teaching them as your parents taught you and my parents taught me?
I can't really explain about parenting, but at the end of the day, when you talk about me and police officers, there are stories I've done on cops.
That's important. Parenting is important. Could it be because there aren't parents in the house?
The parenting issue is pretty big in this country, and that's a whole different topic.
It's not the same statistically. It is a real problem in the black community that it's not with other communities.
It's a problem all over. It's not just the black community. You can find when you go around and talk to different people, you will see every community has issues with their kids today not listening.
No, statistical fatherless households is a real problem in the black community. We both know that. You've talked about it. Larry Elders talked about it.
I have talked about it, and then they got white folks that don't have a father.
No, it's exclusive to the black community, the statistical anomaly of it being so staggeringly high. So instead of vilifying officers for kids reaching for a gun or for kids or people refusing to comply, yelling that they're going to shoot officers, wouldn't we say if we want to address, we're talking about solutions, getting more fathers in the household?
We always support two-parent households. That's what I'm about. I'm about family. I'm about people staying together. But, I just can't sit here and just have you put it out there, only black people have fathers' households.
I didn't say only black people.
Have two parents. Well, you said you kind of insinuating that black people are the only ones or the leaders of all this other stuff. Like at the end of the day, let's go with that argument. Let's say that's.
But it's not my argument. See, that's a straw man. Phil, I'm trying to improve your arguing ability here. That's not my argument. You don't get to argue against a ghost argument, a straw man that I never made. I never said only black people.
You announced it that at 6:30 there's some sort of protest or demonstration outside. What's that about?
Okay, so apparently that is for a Donald Trump supporter that's holding a rally out here, and he was brought here by our Republican orator here on campus. This is very difficult because this man is a bigot. This man supports all types of negativity, and he embodies oppression. We don't like it, and we have a lot of people that feel the same way as us. African American community, LGBTQ+, and just all types of orgs that just don't like what he says. So we're gonna let him know. We're not just gonna take it. You're not just gonna come where we are and spew this hatred on him.
Yeah, what kind of statements does, in your opinion, or things that he does that show that bigotry to you?
Well, see, this is my first time actually hearing of him. This man is a bigot. This is my first time actually hearing of him, and I'm pretty close to Regina, the student that we have from Students for Democratic Society that came out and spoke, and she's told me that he makes some pretty hateful statements. He is a right alt. I cannot for the life of me remember the party. Yeah, but that party, and just nah, we're just not for it, man. It's not for it.
Yeah.
Have you watched Milo's videos and stuff, right?
I will.
Okay, you haven't yet.
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
This guy sounds terrible.
What's that?
He sounds terrible.
Yeah, you've heard things he said?
No, just like I said, like I was telling you earlier from what Regina was telling me, just the type of guy that she perceives him as. I don't think I'd like him, and I'm gonna look into him because you can't be that big of a bigot. You can't be.
But you haven't watched his videos
Not
yet?
yet. I will.
You will, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
This man is a bigot. This is my first time actually hearing of him. This guy sounds terrible. A right alt. You can't be that big of a bigot. You can't.
Is there anything else? Any thoughts?
No, just love, man. Love. Just love everyone. Love everybody. That's it.
Should I repeat anything? No, I'll just keep going. Okay, you talked about Islam, and in Islam you talked about a lot of subjects: women equality, the fight against gays, rape, and also terrorism. And these are valid points. So I want to put out, if you ever want to debate a moderately educated person, I would be up for it. Just pick a time and date.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now I'll get to my question. I'll get to my question. 2 days ago in Houston, you said that feminists who call all white men rapists and racists are idiots and all those things, and I agree with you 100%. But then again, you call all Muslims rapists as well. So what are the bases you have for calling all Muslims rapists, even though...
When did I do that?
When did you call all Muslim rapists? Mm-hmm. When you talk about Sweden and the UK and how the governments...
I called all Muslims rapists when I talked about Sweden.
I mean, pretty much.
No.
Madam, I'm grateful to you for coming, but to be quite honest with you, fuck your feelings.